Hello, hi, it's Julie Rothwell from Arty Heaven here. I am up in my studio and I wanted to come on and just speak a little bit about who encaustic wax is for. So those of you that don't know me, I paint with beeswax, it's hot wax, and I was talking to a lady this week and she actually said to me, I always see your work and I see you do your courses, but I don't tend to get involved because I assume it's just for artists. And she said she liked it, she liked the look of it, but she thought that what I was doing was literally just for artists and people who, were already painting in that style. So I wanted to come on and just kind of bust that myth a little bit, really, and explain who encaustic art is for, and who can use it. So if you haven't seen what encaustic art is, I know a lot of you that follow me on this channel or on my Facebook page here do. But a lot of people that come across it have never seen it. So I'm going to do a quick live demonstration of one form of encaustic art, and then go on to a few, just kind of explain a little bit more about it. So I'm going to flip this around. Hang on, so I'm up in my studio here. So I've got this set up. So for those of you that haven't seen encaustic art before, so I'm going to start with the simplest form, which come in these pre-coloured blocks. Now anybody can get creative with these. You don't need to be a particular artist. You don't need to, you can just literally create with these and have fun. So I'm going to start working on an A4 piece in a moment, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how basically you're painting with an iron. So this is a heated iron. It gets quite warm, but I mean, it's not enough to kind of burn your fingers. You can touch it quite happily. It's not going to cause massive problems like that. So hopefully you can see this okay. So I'm going to take a wax block, and this is how quickly anybody can paint with this. And you don't have to be an artist to do this at all. It is just really, really fun. If you consider yourself just to be kind of crafty and just enjoy, if you enjoy sitting down. So people always ask how long it takes to dry. It's actually how long it takes to cool. And once that's gone matte, it's not going to move. So your wax has stayed put. So the first intention is to get a good covering of wax. And from there, you can just literally just start to play and have fun with it. And just by, shuffling this iron around a little bit, you can get these absolutely stunning abstract shapes. So in answer to the first myth, who's it for? It's only for artists. Seriously, I've had so many people use this form of art. It's really therapeutic. It's great for, let's turn this around again for a moment. Yeah, really therapeutic. I generally say teenagers and up, but I've had children as young as probably 10 come and do workshops with me here in the studio in this art form, through to I've had grandparents using it as well. So it's a really therapeutic form. I'm working on quite a small scale there, but you can get big sheets of paper and literally it's great for freeing you up. If you are an artist, it's great just for if you kind of get a bit tense sometimes, it's great for just sort of freeing you up before you begin anyway. But just to sit down and create abstract shapes and patterns, and particularly people, especially I've seen people come in and they're like, I can't draw a straight line, and they're quite tense and nervous about painting. They get going with that and they love it, and hours just disappear in a flash. So that's the first myth. And also I've got, I also have people who are, they are proper artists as well. I say proper artists, but they also use this art form. So that's the first one that I wanted to sort of blow out the water, if you like. It is not just artists that use this this wax painting. Anybody can do it. If you just want to get creative, have some fun, have a blast for a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon, it's a really, really perfect starting point. There are lots of different tools. So there's a stylus. In fact, I'll pop that on in a minute, give you a quick demo with that. There's a stylus. There's a hot plate. There are lots and lots of things. So don't think that the content that I've been putting out recently is only for artists, if you've been interested in it. That brings me on to, so I've been running workshops here in my studio for quite a long time, and I just want to extend that further out because it is just such a beautiful art form to work with. So I'm doing a wax creation day first Wednesday of every month, completely free, but just as a reminder, really, as a trigger for people that follow me or online or on my email newsletter or whatever. It's so easy to let a month go by and you haven't even picked up a pen. So those are kind of like a point in the month where you say, right, I'm definitely sitting down today and I'm definitely going to do something creative. And then on the second Wednesday, we have a video call where we just get together, and if you've got questions, so specifically to the wax, if you've got questions around the wax, or you're not getting on with the iron, or you don't know how the stylus works, or whatever it might be, then it's a chance to actually speak with me face to face, be a group of us on there on video call. All you need is an internet connection. You don't need to leave the house. There's that opportunity as well. So I'm going to show you the stylus quickly and then come on to some of the other areas of wax painting if you are already an encaustic artist, and some of the things that come onto there. So let me turn this back around. So, yeah, this is the encaustic stylus that I was just mentioning. So what you can do with this part is really hot, so you want to make sure you hold, this part you don't want to touch. So if you've got, younger children, well, as I say, sort of 10, 11, 12 up, really, as teenagers, to keep myself on the right side of health and safety, but just make sure they're supervised. I do have silicone mitts or like an oven cover that I sometimes put over this area just to make sure there aren't, to avoid, dabbing your fingers against, because that will, if you dab your finger against the iron, it's not going to hurt too badly, but this does leave quite a leave you with running your fingers under the tap. So you can add detail with stylus. I don't know if, let me hold this up a little bit closer. So you can add detail with the stylus on top of the wax you've already created. You can draw with it. So obviously I'm not doing finished pieces here, but you can see that you could, birds or whatever it is that you want to draw. This isn't very precise, holding up in the air, but hey ho. Anyway, you get the idea. You can tease wax out from underneath as well. There's lots of different things you can do with this, and there's different tips and all sorts of things. So a little bit of wax goes a really long way. There's lots of different ways you can work with the stylus, lots of different shapes you can add on. You take this pen out and put different shapes in as well. So really, really therapeutic, really easy place for somebody to be creating with. So that's another really easy beginner place, and you don't have to be an artist for this. Anybody can come and have a go. I have had I've had all sorts of people here in the studio, and as I said a minute ago, a lot of them are, they claim to not be able to draw a straight line, and they leave absolutely loving it. They have a great time. So I've been pulling these online a lot more. So yeah, if I can help you with any of the material, do go to my website, artyheaven.com, or any information, how to, etc. For those of you who are already encaustic artists that follow me, I can see someone's on here. I can't see any comments, so thank you for joining. So for people who are already encaustic artists, I've also been asked whether these calls that I'm doing are suitable for them as well. And yes, definitely. So there's another style, and I'm trying to lift my pan up. So there's another style of painting with wax, which has a Daymar resin added to it. And this is a much more solid form. You melt this and then you fuse in layers together that's literally as limitless as your imagination. For those of you that are following me who've got the encaustic bug, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You can create sculptural pieces. So these are some kind of sculptural bowls that I've made. So this is, they've got a base, but then there is this is beeswax and resin, probably 3 or 4 layers, all fused and coloured, and you kind of create your own colours. So there are 2 very different forms. This style of wax, and also in 2D form as well. This is obviously a sculptural piece. But let me show you. So this is a little smaller one. So this has got layers of wax on it. It needs to be on a solid base. Very, very different process, but still beeswax. So if you're into this style of painting, the other thing I've been asked is, are these calls suitable for you? Yes, they are, and they will be. What I'm intending to do with these monthly calls, I've literally done 3, January, February, March 2020, as trials and tests and sort of see how they go. But my vision for moving forward is to kind of do a couple of, almost like a, membership's the right word, but a couple of calls a month at least, but also doing interviews with encaustic artists, the information and supplies around encaustic and all forms of encaustic is really, really difficult to come by. And I would have dreamt for a resource like that in the early days when I was doing that. So that's why I'm looking to pull these together. The next call is on the 8th of February. The details are on my website. If you go to the online courses page, you'll see the monthly call section. But what I'm planning to do is, on that, I've got so many things coming up in the pipeline. So I will be, for people that are on those calls, there will be extra giveaways or special offers and things like that as well. I'm not going to say publicly what's coming up in the pipeline, but there are some very exciting things coming up. So if you want to be the first to hear about those, that's where to do that. I've had some people say, I'm not sure I'm arty enough to join. No, complete myth. I think we can all learn something from each other. Whether you're an encaustic artist or whether you're just looking and getting interested in encaustic art, I think there is just something for everybody. And I don't claim to know everything there is, but I know, and I've been working with the medium for a long time. I'm connected with an awful lot of people. And I think there's a whole bank of information and knowledge we can share with each other. So that's why I'm looking to pull these together. There's obviously a lot of research that goes into that and everything. So, you know, there is a fee, for joining with that. But I think it will be a really good way of sharing resources. And, you know, it's particularly in Europe, it's so difficult getting supplies. There's a really good Facebook group we've got going, but it is, you know, but I think by having something that's a bit more structured, that would be a really cool thing. So anyway, go to my website and have a look, artyheaven.com/online courses, or drop me an email, julie@artyheaven. But yeah, if you want to find out more, or just want to come and try one call and see what it's like and jump, you know, just any questions, just let me know. But I just wanted to kind of bust that one really, that either you're not arty enough or maybe you're too artistic and think it's not for you. These early ones literally were just kind of forming everything, and I think there's a place for everybody who has an interest. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Hope you found that helpful. I've seen a few people have hopped on and jumped off. So yeah, good to see you. Thanks for joining, and I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.